All right, 20 series alternator conversion. Why and how? First thing, this is for primarily a gas tractor, but the later tractors, diesels that were 12 volt, you might as well pay attention. You 24 volt guys are all on your own. Sorry, there's other videos for you. So why would you convert to an alternator? One, your generator, your voltage regulator isn't charging, your light's on the dash. This is significantly cheaper and it's an upgrade. There's a reason we don't use generators and voltage regulators anymore. In my opinion, once the system fails, or if you want to be proactive, there's no reason not to put an alternator on it. Unless you like your tractor to be original. If that's the case, good for you. All the other guys at the tractor club will go, ooh, it still has a generator on it. Moving on. So, first things first, you have to get your alternator bought. You want a 10SI Delco, commonly referred to as a 3-wire Delco, but 10SI. S is in Sam, I is in Indigo. You have a 1/2-inch V-belt pulley. A lot of them will come with 3/8 because they're automotive applications. You need half because you are a industrial or ag application. I actually just took my pulley off my generator and stuck it on. I literally bought my alternator off Amazon. You will need a mounting bracket. I bought mine through Allstate Ag Parts. Not super happy with it, but it works. You may also need an upper mount for your tensioner. Different. Again, there's kits out there. Just look and see what works. Otherwise, you can build your own relatively simply. Get your old generator and your voltage regulator off. Mind the wiring. Just keep watching. I'll talk you through it. You need to pay attention how you take things apart just a little bit. Get your alternator mounted, lined up. Your belt may have to be a different length. I had to put a, let me look here, 58-inch belt on mine. The other thing is when you do your belt, you're going to have to take your pump drive coupler apart. Warning, you need to take the nuts off first. The coupler is threaded. The nuts lock everything together. So you take the nuts off first, then you take the coupler, the bolts out, then the coupler is just clamshells together. While you have your coupler off, inspect it. If the bushings inside are white, they're the old style ones, replace it. Replace it, replace it. If you have any questions, replace it. If that goes bad, you lose all your hydraulics, and that's not what you want when it's 10 below zero and you're pushing snow. Be proactive, just replace it. So, now that you've got your alternator mounted, you got your belt on, it's tight, now you got to wire it. You can buy a pigtail. You can buy pigtails with diodes built in, or you can buy this setup. Like this was cheap. I got it. I needed my tractor going in a hurry. So I'm going to refine this later. So we're going to talk wiring. Bear with me. I know guys get afraid of wiring. This is super easy. It's super simple. Before you tear your voltage regulator off, this is what you need to do. Unscrew it, cut the terminal off, put a piece of heat shrink over it, cap it off permanently. You don't need it anymore, and that has battery power all the time. Best practice would be to actually find the other wire and cut it so it's dead, but you need to render this one safe so it doesn't burn your tractor down. You have a wire going to your gen. As you see, this is teed off. These run down to your voltage regulator. Snippy as close as you can. Leave a little pigtail in case you ever want to go back, but snip. All right, we're going to talk you through the wiring. This is super simple. This is the wire that comes from the key switch to excite your now alternator or your generator. This also runs through your indicator light on the dash. So, that wire you cut there goes to pin 1 on your pigtail. This needs to have a diode in it so it doesn't back drain the battery. Some guys will say if you have a light bulb, it's fine. If you have an LED, a light emitting diode, sure, it's cheap insurance, just get one with a diode. All right, so your wire that was going to your gen terminal goes to pin 1. Pin 2 just gets looped right back to your main stud. This is your sensing wire. This is the only wire you need to add, and it doesn't even need to be this heavy. I just literally had this round. You need a decently sized wire, like I would say 10 gauge would be good. This is way overkill, but overkill is underrated. You need to run this back to the battery, or the better spot for it would actually be to the starter lug, the main wire lug. Run it back to that. Tie it up nicely. Zip ties are cheap. Use a lot of them. So, run one big heavy wire to your starter lug, so that way it'll feed the batteries. Pin 2 just loops right back. That's your sense wire. Pin 1 with your diode in it is your exciter and your indicator wire. There you go. Wired up. It's tensioned. Your belt's tensioned. It's on. Start your tractor up. If it doesn't charge for some stupid reason, first things first, does the indicator light on your dash come on? Because if that light bulb's burn out, it will not complete the circuit. So, if that light wasn't working before, you need to fix it now. Maybe you need to fix that before if you can just fix your charging system for the price of a light bulb. But when you start your tractor, you might have to give it a little throttle. It might need 30 seconds to even a minute. Your charging light should come out. When your charging light is out, take your voltmeter, put it on your battery. Should be about 14.2 volts. 12.6 is standard battery voltage. So if you're not above 12.6, you are not charging. All right. Once it's charging, great. Your tractor started up. You got 14.2. Let her run for a little bit because your battery's probably junk or discharged a little bit anyway. Shut it off. Turn your lights on for like 30 seconds. Take the surface charge off the battery. Turn your lights off. Now walk away for an hour or two. Come back. If it doesn't read 12.6 volts, if it's like 11, 10, your alternator is discharging because you either don't have a diode, your diode could be backwards, which could be also a not charging issue, or you have something else going on. But that's the last thing you got to do, is make sure your battery isn't discharging, because you're not helping yourself if your battery still goes dead overnight. You just traded problems. Yes, you could put a battery disconnect switch in, which wouldn't be the worst if you're like me and maybe your tractor sits a lot, but either way, there you go. 3 wires, you only add 1, 3 bolts, 1 belt, mounted. Check your pump drive coupler while you're there. Be proactive. Easy, simple. Thanks for watching, guys.